Welcome, Alyssa, Miss Universe Canada 2019. It's so nice to
Hi.
see you.
I'm good to see you too.
You look amazing as always. So I'm gonna ask you some questions, kind of more from like a fan perspective or like a future pageant competitor, because if I were preparing for Miss Universe Canada or Miss Universe, I would want to know all the ins and outs. I would want to know your opinions, what you think, and all of that. The first one, we all want to know, what was it like to compete at Miss Universe?
Oh, you definitely know this too. Pretty crazy experience. I mean, obviously you got to compete in the Philippines, which is, I couldn't even imagine being in the Philippines. So I bet you that was crazy. But Atlanta, Georgia wasn't as bad as I think my first initial reaction was when I heard it was going to be in Atlanta. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. I mean, I have been preparing for this for 7 years. So to go to Miss Universe was like a dream come true for me. And I think my biggest downfall arriving, I was so like caught up in being Miss Canada that I didn't even like think about competing. I was just like in la la land, like, okay, this is fun. Like I don't even know what my mindset was, but it was great. And the biggest thing that obviously placing at Miss Universe is like unbelievable. You know that experience. So, but that's all like people see on the outside. And that was like my biggest pet peeve almost, or problem, because do you know how we talk about favorites? I don't know if you felt like there were favorites at Miss Universe.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. And it's obvious who the favorites are when you're competing, at least in my experience. How about
Well,
you?
it's crazy because I've heard you speak about that. A lot of girls talk about favorites. I was a favorite. Like I got to do everything. I was chosen to do everything. And that's what people don't see, that my experience was unbelievable because I got to do literally every event. Like I was always speaking. So
Amazing.
even though I didn't place, I remember calling my mom the day of the finals, and I was like, Mom, I literally don't care if I get last place because I actually got the best experience that some girls didn't even get to be a part of.
That's
So
so
like,
cool.
yeah, like it was pretty crazy.
That's so cool.
But yeah.
So you were chosen for all the events. You got to do all the interviews.
Oh, and it was like, and it's crazy because I like have a business background, so everything I think about is business related. And being at Miss Universe in the USA, there's things are set up for business aspects. Sponsors are sponsors for business, right?
Yeah.
So Cirque du Soleil was our first event, and they're a Canadian company.
Amazing.
Why wouldn't Miss Canada speak at Cirque du Soleil? You know, so it's like people might have been like, oh, why is she doing it? Why is she doing it? But they don't think like it's a Canadian born thing. So
Exactly.
I got to do a live with Cirque du Soleil. I was one of 3 girls chosen to speak at Ryan Seacrest Studios with the Sick Kids. Like it was literally unbelievable. I was like, wait, why do I get to do all this stuff? Like shoot with Chi so many times. Like that photo shoot was insane. I was always chosen for like top 5 with Steve Harvey on the like during the practice. So, like Steve Harvey and I always like had a conversation. Like those little things that people don't know was like the coolest experience for me, you know? So of course placing is like the best, but like it's okay if it doesn't happen because you can still have like a good experience.
That is so true. And you know what? I really wish that they would do some kind of like, there's one thing to watch the final show. That's what we all see. But if they could do some kind of like behind the scenes, kind of like documentary, but more like YouTube style, following the girls and seeing all of that, because then people would really get to see you even more. I want to see all that, so why can't we see it? And like Instagram stories, that only goes so far, whereas being able to actually watch it like a show, it would be so exciting.
That's what, honestly, in my opinion, I think pageants will evolve. Well, I want them to evolve into like reality TV because I think it would be so funny. I mean, being in pageants for 7 years, I've seen some crazy, I'll tell you that. So I think it would be hilarious. Like we say, like my kind of position where I am is like not the typical pageant girl. So it's okay that girls are not like picture perfect and like being funny and goofy, and like you and Lauren talked about this too, and like Lauren's hilarious on social media and stuff too. So it's like funny that it doesn't have to be picture perfect anymore, and it's not that way. So I think a reality show would be hilarious.
You kind of mentioned this. You were not the typical pageant competitor. You were not the typical Miss Canada, because you definitely made a statement. I think you were so bold. You came out in the national costume wearing a cannabis-inspired costume. My brother jokingly called you Miss Cannabis, which I'm sure a lot of people have called you that. So tell us why, like what made you go with that? Like tell us why, how, everything.
Honestly, it was a crazy decision, I'll tell you that. Like I said, business is my background, and I kind of always think the next step. being Miss Universe would be a dream come true, of course, but one girl wins. So you have to think long term. And I felt like I need to position myself to be something more like bold, because that's how I am as a person, but I never really showed through my pageant career. When I look back, I was always doing what I should do. And I was always like, but I am a risk taker, and I am like, do whatever I want because I think differently sometimes. So that's what I kind of wanted to go with. And I was really into finding out how Canada would legalize it and what the business side would look like. So the more research I did, I talked to my coaches, my team, and we kind of collectively decided that let's give this a try. Yeah, they definitely said, we don't know if this is going to work, but we'll have fun with it. You do whatever you want. Yeah, I got it made in Las Vegas. I didn't even try it on. It came to Miss Universe, I think 2 days before I wore it. Like, I didn't even know if it was going to fit me. It was totally a surprise. You were at prelims, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if you heard when I came out with the national costume, like, so many people screamed. Like, I literally felt that moment, and like so many people were cheering that.
Oh yeah.
I totally felt it. And like whenever I rewatch the videos, you can just kind of see me like take in the moment, because I was very aware that all these people like recognize what just happened, you know, so it was pretty cool. Yeah. But yeah, my coaches, I don't know if you know Guy and Miguel.
No, I don't. No.
Okay. They coach Marta too, and they coach me. So anyways, we had a field day with this costume. They actually drove it back from Atlanta in their car back to Windsor, so they had to cross the border at Detroit. And they're like hilarious guys, so they're telling the border security all about the weed girl, and they're like, yeah, we got the costume, want to see it? Like, the border guys thought they were crazy. But yeah, we also did like a bunch of events leading up to it. If I were to do it differently, I think I would have tried to do more press and stuff beforehand, because I think we were trying to make it a surprise, but I think it would have been better if we didn't have it as a surprise, you know? So that was okay. But Miss Uruguay found out that I was doing it, and Uruguay legalized cannabis first. So she was like, I can't believe I didn't think of that. She was like,
that's so funny.
Even if she would have thought about it, I just don't think as many women would have taken the risk, if you will, which it's so funny, because it's like,
what are you risking? Like, making a bold statement. And that's where like people with me, I know it's like totally different, but
like my body evolved so much over the years, and I'm actually in it, like I'd say smaller now than I was at Miss Universe, because part of Miss Universe, I was like in such an emotional state of like, you know, yeah, you know what it's like you're trying to be what they want you to be, but you want to be yourself. You want to,
it's so conflicting that
like, it's such a roller coaster. So for me, I thought like, why is it so weird to be like different than everybody else? Like, what's so bold about that? It's just kind of shocking. So anyways, kudos to you. I think that was so cool. I really feel like you got conversations going around the world on this topic, and it is very difficult to be like the first person to do something, right? It's hard to like kind of push those uncomfortable boundaries and push the limits of what people think. So I think that was amazing.
Thank you.
I love that. Let me see here. A lot of people are going to want to know this. Did you get to meet Catriona Gray? What was she like?
Another thing, I was always at her table. I love her. Like, I don't know how she always ended up sitting near my group, but she was always with us. She was so great. And yeah, I loved her. She was really nice. She was really like down to earth, super chill. Yeah, I think we had like 2 or 3 dinners, and I was with USA a lot because we danced in the opening number together right next to each other. So we would always find ourselves like close by, and obviously Kat knows Chesley well, so she was like around more often and stuff. But yeah, she was really great.
That's so cool. So on that subject, who are some of your closest friends? Who did you kind of like connect with the most at Miss Universe?
Yeah, so like Gabriella, Miss Haiti. Yeah, so it's funny because obviously she's Canadian and she competed for Miss Canada. So we were in the same group for chaperones. Cambodia, Israel is my roommate. Albania, Australia, USA.
That's so
There's a lot of good girls. Yeah, no drama.
Good. Okay, good. Yeah.
So being a pageant competitor, kind of like we talked about, it really opens you up to a lot of judgment, criticism, being scrutinized in every single way. From my experience, it was all about my body. People were calling me fat, blah, blah, blah. Always about my body. Did you feel like there was anything that, whether it was pageant fans, did you feel like they were always focusing, bullying you on any particular area?
Biggest thing, right after I won, I love Mega, and if I lost to her, I would have accepted that fine because she's great and she's a great competitor. But initially right away, everyone, in my opinion, was so mad that I won over her. So it was like super awkward because everyone's like, she paid for the title. Like, I
Oh
got
my
money to
god.
pay for somebody. Like I definitely have been competing in pageants. I don't have money to do that. Yeah, so that was like initially was so tough because everyone's like, well, Mega should have won, Mega should have won. So that was like tough. I feel like I was in Marta's shadow the whole time with pageant fans because that performance was literally out of this world and she was unbelievable. So I felt like a lot of people kept comparing me to her or never wanted to let her go. So
Right.
I felt that way. And I don't know if like Lauren felt that way with you because you were so talked about and so hyped up too that I don't know if you felt that way with
Well, I felt, I guess, kind of related. I mean, I don't want to like take away from your story here, but people were always comparing me to Natalie Glebova. And I think maybe because we both at the time had dark hair, I don't know, like the light eyes, dark hair, just like kind of some similar features. So people were always comparing me to her. As much as I'm like, okay, we have some similarities, like we're different people. Like we're so different. I've met Natalie a couple times and we're just different.
I'm here with a different platform, a different.
why can't we just move on? You know?
Yeah, and that's hard. So you felt like you were compared.
Yeah, compared to Marta, like, and not by anybody close to me, just more so like the pageant fans and just pretty much. Oh, and then not placing internationally. A lot of people talked about, well, she never places internationally. Why would she place now? Type of thing, which sucks. But like that's once again, you don't know the story. You don't know what happens. Like you don't know what my mentality was going into these international pageants versus national pageants. So like I could obviously sit there and tell you why. I could have told you the first day I wasn't placing at Miss Universe. I know like your mental state and your visualization matters so much, and especially the way I compete. I know when I'm ready, I know when I deserve it, and I know how hard I worked. But whenever I've competed internationally, it's always been just pardon my French, a show. So, yeah.
Oh, you're so.
But like not for anyone else's fault, just like my own. Like I don't even know what I was thinking. Like I said, I showed up to Miss Universe and just like, oh wow, I'm here.
Yeah, but you know,
I think that part of that though, you probably had well, like you said, you had such an amazing experience. Whereas some people, they're so focused the entire time, they don't meet any friends, they don't get the experience, and they don't place. So then, what did they take away from the whole thing, right?
No, I agree, and that's my biggest thing with Miss Canada.
Yeah.
What I tell the girls now, it's I can't believe like how much having fun matters. And how much like being a normal, nice human being matters. Like you could have the prettiest dress, but if you can't work with somebody, like it's a business. Nobody wants to work with you, you know? So that was definitely like the biggest thing. But yeah, all my international experiences have been probably like hilarious. I kind of wish I had videos of them. Like when I competed in Egypt, yeah, Amber was there.
Yeah. Oh wait, where?
Amber in Egypt. Amber was like the reigning queen.
Right. I forgot that you went to that competition.
Yeah, so she watched my whole competition. She was like, "Listen, what the hell is going on?" I was like, "I don't know. I have no idea."
You had a lot of pageant experience.
Yeah, I'm happy to be.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So we want to know about your Miss Universe gown. Give us the lowdown.
A lot of people ask me why I chose that gown. I don't know. I love
the turquoise one.
The Ariel look. Ariel. Well, funny story is I actually had so many gowns when I arrived at Miss Universe. Well, at Miss Universe. But since Miss Universe we were told it was going to be December 8th. I don't know, like a month before it actually happened. So I think my team and our mindset was it's going to be in February. It's going to be in February. So we're like putting feelers out, getting designers and all this stuff. So I think we weren't prepared when they're like, oh, it's in a month. I'm like, now what? So
okay.
Everything that we had set was just like a rush. So it was like, okay, get this done. And then we're like, hey, what if this doesn't look good? Get this. And like Miguel and Guy were like going crazy, like calling Colombia, calling Albania, like calling anybody, like send us things. Like it was so funny. But I got this beautiful, beautiful gown from Jimmy Couture in Malaysia. And I competed with Miss Malaysia at Supra, and she had these stunning gowns. So I messaged her. I was like, where do you get these gowns from? I love them. So she connected me with the designer. He makes me this like nude, skin tight with green bedazzles on it, like super. And then it had these like long sleeves. Like it was beautiful. I try it on. I get it right before I leave. It's like my whole area was out because it was a high slit. It
like,
just
your was out.
Like, we took so many videos trying to make it work because it was so
No way.
like, I was like, Alyssa, I see it the whole time. This is not happening. So it's like, there's so many like malfunctions that like you couldn't really prepare for. So
Right.
Sherry Hill comes in clutch, love her. And she was like, Canada, like wear something of mine. So I'm like, okay. So she gave me a couple options. This was like the day before prelims. I'm choosing a gown.
Yeah,
So,
I understand.
yeah, just because I had so many options, but I just like, then again, I'm in my own head, like being picky, being like, I don't like any, like, anyways. And then I ended up really loving that green gown. But when I practiced in it, it was fine, but it was way too long for me in prelim. So it was just like one thing after another. We couldn't hem it. Like,
That leaves me though. It looked amazing, especially with your red hair.
I did like the vibe.
Yeah, okay. But so what made you dye your hair red? Because you were never red from what I knew of you. And then boom, you were red before Miss Universe. I thought it looked amazing, but tell us like what was it?
Loved it. I
Yeah.
truly loved it. And I think that was like kind of my like, let's stand out, let's be different. And then once I dyed my hair red, everyone's like, you're not Miss France. You're not Miss France.
Oh my God.
I'm not trying to be Miss France. Like, okay.
Exactly. You're trying to be you. That's so, anyway.
Isabel, she is a makeup artist for Fidel. Like, she does pretty much all her stuff.
Right. And you shot with Fidel before Miss Universe. Right.
Met her, and Miguel and Guy are really good friends with her. And she actually trained Mario, who's Kim Kardashian's makeup artist. That is like, those two are like literally
amazing.
inseparable. Yeah. So she's doing my makeup, whatever. And Miguel's like trying to convince me to go redhead. And then she does my makeup. She's like, you're a natural redhead, right? She's like, you're for sure a redhead. And I was like, wait, what? And then apparently they were asking around. Everyone's like, she's a redhead. Like, you should be redhead and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, let's do something different. So
that's so cool. So you went for it.
I went for it. Yeah. I truly loved it. If it didn't cost so much and ruin my hair, I would keep it. But
it would have been too hard to like maintain them.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Well, it looked amazing.
Yeah. I loved it. It was fun.
Okay. What else can you tell us about Miss Universe? Like, it was only 10 days.
Which also does suck because
what the hell?
You don't even get to meet anybody because you're normally in your group the whole time, which is great. I love my group. But at the same time, like I met South Africa the day of the final, I think. We were sitting backstage together, like our feet were chilling, you know? But I was like, she's so cool. And I told USA, I was like, you're going to love her as a roommate. Like, she was so cool. And I like barely even got to hang out with her because we're never in the same like vicinity together. So that's the kind of sad part that sucks about the 10 days. You don't get to like truly mingle with as many people as you probably wanted to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was actually one thing I felt like Miss Universe could do better is do some kind of like mingling events amongst the girls. It's one thing to do sponsor events, public appearances, but like let's get to know each other and kind of like force us to meet each other rather than being like the certain groups that girls tend to get into. So in saying that, if you can pull yourself out of the competition and look in as a pageant fan, and I guess from what you know, obviously, who did you think was going to win Miss Universe 2019?
Colombia.
Really? Okay.
I had Colombia and South Africa.
Okay. So that was a pretty good prediction then on your part.
Yeah, Colombia, just because I was like always around her, and she was stunning, obviously, she's gorgeous, and she was so cool and so like down to earth and so fun. Like she was all obsessed with the marijuana costume. She's like, oh my God, girl, you're going viral! Like I'm so excited! Like she was so awesome. But I really had a feeling she was gonna win.
Yeah.
A lot of people thought South Africa before Miss Universe. Then I thought at Miss Universe, I feel like there was less hype about her, but I thought her outfits, like everything was on point for her. Like she came like A1 every single day. So I was like, okay, like I see that too. The funniest thing, now that we talk about South Africa, how amazing was it when she turned the audience from being segregated to like united? Once she spoke, the whole audience was like chanting South Africa. I was like, backstage, I was like, I literally just got the chills. Like it was. I was so happy I got to experience that because I was like so breathtaking. She was amazing.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's one thing too, like you were a competitor, I was a competitor, neither one of us won, but yet there we were being like, oh my God, this is amazing. Like I actually have goosebumps thinking about it. Like we could be bitter being like, oh, why didn't we place higher or like win? And it's like, no, this is like a life-changing, amazing moment as a spectator, but like as a competitor too. Like I remember standing on stage when Haiti and France were standing there, and like that's just a moment that is so cool and iconic no matter who you are.
The new Miss Universe is South.
So yeah, I love that you have that attitude as well.
I was like, me, like Poland, we were all like holding hands back, like screaming, like, oh my God. Like, I was like, if this is on TV, like, we're obnoxious. It's kind of like my biggest tip for like girls competing, if you want to talk about like Miss Canada, is just like the attitude after. Like, my biggest saying, and this is the words I've lived by my whole pageant experience, is like, your attitude determines your future. Like, the way people act after something bad happens can change what's going to happen to them in the future. 100%. So a lot of girls, like, I competed in Miss Canada in 2014. I didn't place. Like, I've done it. I've been there. I didn't. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know you didn't place.
Yeah, I didn't place in 2014.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God. See, that's amazing.
Yeah. So it's like crazy because I took that as like, okay, I need to work my ass off. Not why did she win? Why wasn't I good enough? Why this? Why that? I was like, okay, I'm not as good as I should be. Let's work on this. And it took me so long, and then I came back and won it. And I wasn't concerned about the girls who've competed in place before. And it's a pageant against yourself. So you're literally competing against yourself. And if you're the best version, people will see that. It'll shine through. And that's kind of what I felt like at Miss Canada, opposed to competing internationally. Something really funny about my costume, though.
Yeah.
So this year, which is different at Miss Universe, they said that we were gonna, I forget why they said something, the national costume, like, we got chosen. I was top 5 for best costume.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that never really got highlighted as much.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, so I thought we were all gonna come on stage or like have like our own little moment, which didn't happen. But anyways, I was backstage reading the teleprompter, waiting to go on, and I saw like you had said costume 1, costume 2, costume 3, costume 4, costume 5, and there was like a joke about each costume. So I thought they were gonna give us our own like 30 seconds of fame, and like mine, of course, was like, oh, Snoop Dogg definitely loves this costume, you know. So I was all excited to like watch the show back and like see when they said that, and then it never happened. I was so bummed.
That does suck. Oh my gosh. And I wonder if part of it was because it was officially Philippines who won national costume, right? But Malaysia came out, and then Steve Harvey was given the wrong stuff on the teleprompter because he's like, here's Miss Philippines, and Malaysia was like, yo, I'm Malaysia.
So funny.
So I wonder if that's when he was supposed to be saying stuff, but it was getting like mixed up or something.
I don't know, because they had all our costumes backstage, like all top 5. We all had them there, and like, I don't know. I thought that was like the whole costume segment was weird.
What's next? What are you planning on doing next?
Hopefully staying in the cannabis industry, of course. There's so many ups and downs with it right now with the law, so I have no idea what it's gonna be like. But for those of you that don't know, I'm starting a cooking show with cannabis on YouTube, so I'm super excited about that. It'll be so fun. So I'm gonna have a little bit of education on it from like doctors about the benefits of it, and then I'm gonna have some chefs with some like really good recipes, and then I'm just gonna cook some food.
Thank you so much for all of your insight, all your stories. People are gonna love this. I'm so excited for them to listen. So thank you for your time, and good luck with everything after Miss Universe Canada.
Say hi. And you can see kids. Swings.
Hi, Lily.
I see me.
Swing. I see.